Hey guys, Alex here. So, I realized I forgot to do a review of sorts for the Dream Live Orchestra. I was very conflicted with it. Audio-wise, absolutely loved it. It had some of my favorite songs, and it was really something spectacular to hear castrato with an orchestra. But when I watched the Blu-ray DVD, I was actually a little bit concerned and conflicted with the whole thing. The presentation was amazing. But for the first half, before the symphony, I did notice Kamijo looked really exhausted, and I mean, not physically wise because he's a performer, so it's there, but in his eyes he looked kind of tired, to me anyways. And for the first half of the show that was a bit concerning, but then when it got to the Symphony of the Vampire portion, I noticed that spark kind of reignite in his eyes. So there was that. Performance-wise, I did notice there was some skipping around. Not format-wise, but like some of the speech was cut out. So unlike La Vie en Rose, where you get the full concert as whole, there are certain bits that are cut out, which to me was a little disappointing. But I think that's part of why La Vie en Rose is still one of my favorite lives of all time, because you get all of it, all of his speech, and it's good. Of course, being Kamijo, I still recommend picking it up to support him, because, I mean, why wouldn't you? Where else was I going with this? Not so bad at reviews. One of the things that... I'll talk about some of the things that I enjoyed. One of the things that I enjoyed about it was, like, hearing Heart with an orchestra, which is my all-time favorite album. So to hear that in a slightly different key than it was on the original album, but sung similarly to his later albums like Sang, it was interesting. I can't get over castrato. Hearing castrato orchestrated was mind-blowing. And Nosferatu. That was a pretty good one too. Towards the end of it, there was kind of a lack of performance versus, I don't know. It was, okay. I should say that Dream Live was more professional based than it was entertainment. Whereas, like, some of his concerts, you'll notice he's spinning around more, he's doing things, he's interacting more with the band members. This one, he had an orchestra, so he kind of had more of a professional face on, I guess. Like, oh, I'm, in front of a whole orchestra. So he had more of a business face than that of an entertainer. So it was kind of interesting to see that. And watching some of the extras to it, you could see a lot of work that was put into it. He did put a lot of effort into it, which, we expect, because Kamijo wants to deliver us nothing but the best. So for that, it's definitely worth picking up. But I don't think many will get, I don't think many will get the excitement to keep them engaged for the full length. I mean, some might, but for me it didn't really hold my interest as well as some of the other ones, but it could have been that it was more of a professional atmosphere than it was the usual stuff that he delivers. I'm pretty sure that's about all that I noticed. I still enjoyed it, just less so than some of his other stuff, but I'm still happy to have picked it up because I'm always happy to support Kamijo. So, if you haven't, I mean, this still has some really good songs on it, and just to see him in front of an orchestra, the whole setup was beautiful. So, of course, I'm always going to recommend it, but it's not the first choice that I would recommend of his for people who are just getting into him. I think, I'm not sure if I should give a rating scale because it's Kamijo, and I just adore him so much. So, I don't think for any of my reviews I will ever give on a scale of 1 to 10, because it's like you either support him or you don't at this point. Still wouldn't recommend the album for beginners, but the audio quality for the CD specifically is top-notch because Kamijo wouldn't deliver anything that's poor quality to fans, ever. And as for the Blu-ray DVD, you know, if you're a fan, absolutely pick it up. If you're new to him, I would recommend a more engaging live, but I'm so conflicted with this. But that's pretty much my review. If you absolutely can, definitely pick it up. So that's where I'm going to have to sit with this one. Just kind of wanted to make this video before I forgot and ended up taking off out of the country. Not in a bad way. But yeah, so that's gonna be my little review for Dream Live. So I hope many of the fans in our little rose garden are able to enjoy it, because it definitely had a lot of work put into creating it. So, Alex signing out. I hope everyone has a great time.